Hi, everybody. So, today I will present an analysis related to Priceline.com's term of use, commonly referred to as user agreement or terms and conditions. This presentation will cover a set of different aspects of the agreement, specifically addressing the following: whether the said agreement is a valid contract, how users interact with it, whether they are bound by it legally, and whether users can refer their issues to the courts of law when disputes with Priceline arise. I'll be discussing suggested changes that will help make things clearer and better protect the users. Let's get started. Section 1 is Priceline's terms of use a valid contract. Let's define a valid contract. In evaluating whether Priceline's terms of use is a valid contract, we must first determine if it has the essential elements: offer, acceptance, and consideration. The evaluation of Priceline's binding methods. Priceline's terms of use becomes a legally binding contract when a visitor accesses or uses their site, per the agreement's language. This is typical for browse wrap, agreements, where terms are implied by use rather than requiring an active "I agree" click from users. Although enforceable, courts often prefer click wrap agreements for stronger user acknowledgement and consent, especially for terms limiting user rights. Recommendation: opt for click wrap agreement. Given this, I recommend Priceline to switch to a click wrap method, requiring users to click "I agree" when booking or accessing sensitive services. This will help ensure users are fully aware of and consent to the terms they are bound by, especially with the critical stipulations on liability and dispute resolutions. Section 2: Binding nature and user consent. Understanding user boundaries. With Priceline's current browse wrap design, browse wrap design, users are bound to the terms simply by using the site. However, given the potential impact of specific clauses like limited liability, users might not realize they've agreed to these terms simply by navigating the website. Argument for increased visibility. Suppose Priceline wants users to be genuinely aware of these conditions. In that case, I suggest adding a clear pop-up or notification upon entry, reminding users of the their rights and their responsibilities under the terms. Enhancing visibility improves Priceline's stance in case of future legal challenges, as users are more likely to recall interacting with the terms explicitly. Section 3: Can you sue Priceline in case of disputes? Arbitration and limitation of legal rights. As is common with tech companies, Priceline's terms include a mandatory arbitration clause, meaning users must resolve disputes through arbitration rather than suing in a court of law. This can limit users' rights to class action lawsuits and access to jury trials. Fairness and user awareness. While arbitration can expedite conflict resolutions, it may not be clear to every user that agreeing to Priceline's terms also means waiving some traditional legal rights. To ensure Priceline maintains user trust, they might consider a simplified explanation of the arbitration clause, especially around how it affects users' rights. Recommendations Recommendations for improved clarity. Add in a brief summary of what arbitration entails, perhaps in plain language and at the start of the terms, could help users understand the impact on their rights. As an alternative, Priceline could allow users the option to opt out of arbitration within a limited time frame, a practice some companies adopt to maintain transparency and user choice. Section 4. Recommended changes to Priceline's term of use. Strengthening user con- con- consent. Switching from browse wrap to click wrap can substantially enhance consent, especially when linked with highlighted key sections, such as dispute resolutions, limitations on liability, and data usage. It could make the terms more user friendly and legally robust. Incorporate a right to amend clause with notification. Currently, Priceline can amend the terms at any time without necessarily notifying users. While such clauses are legally permitted, Priceline should consider notifying users of specific changes. Adding an email notification system for updates would help Priceline build trust and maintain compliance with evolving user expectations. Enhancing transparency with a summary of FAQ questions, frequently asked questions. Adding a brief summary of frequently asked questions at the beginning of the terms could help users understand key points quickly. Complex language can make it hard for users to read the legal terms. Simplifying the main points can help people understand the terms better and reduce disputes over misunderstandings. Providing opt outs for arbitration. As previously mentioned, allowing a brief opt out period for arbitration would demonstrate Priceline's commitment to user choice, especially for users uncomfortable with the arbitration only approach. It also enhances transparency and strengthens Priceline's legal standing if disputes arise. In conclusion, Priceline's terms of use is legally valid as a browse wrap agreement, but would be more user friendly and legally sound if converted to a click wrap structure. You must give clear approval. I recommend changes that clarify users' rights, notably around arbitration, and improve transparency, such as a summary of key points and an amendment notification system. These adjustments would create a more transparent and user orientated agreement, enhancing both Priceline's legal standing and its user relationship. Well, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope this review provided helpful insights into Priceline's user agreement and the impact of a well structured terms of use on user experience and legal compliance.